Hey, how y'all doing on today? Y'all good? I'm about to eat some ice. Yeah, I'm a little dehydrated, y'all. I really can just drink the water and be good. That's what I probably need to do. Just feel so dehydrated, y'all. And I drink water. That's all I drink is water. That's all I drink. I just feel like, yeah, I just feel dehydrated for some reason. Okay, y'all. I just been feeling tired. I just been feeling extremely tired. And I don't know why. Early this week, I'm gonna speak on this, but early this week, it was just odd because I had a dream my dad was in this dream. I seen my dad in this dream. So in the dream, I'm asking God, like, dang, God, like, what's going on? Like, why I'm seeing my daddy in this dream? Like, I just seen he ain't gonna talk. He ain't gonna talk because the dead I don't know. I just feel like the dead don't talk. So, in one of my visions, when my daddy was trying to talk to me, I kind of used my authority against him. And I was like, the dead don't talk. So now he don't say nothing. I'm like, dang, I wish I could take that back. Because he just be standing there and I got to try to figure out why he here. Like, why is you here? And he can't say nothing to me. It's like he's forbidden to talk. Now, he did tell me that God is mad at America. Now, he kind of told me that. But one time he tried to talk to me, y'all, and I ain't trying to get into too much detail. It was my perfect self, though. Didn't want me talking. It was my perfect self. And I was like, the dead don't talk. And my dad ain't said nothing to me since. So every single video, he just be standing there. I'm like, I got to try to figure out why you here. Okay, y'all. So, early this week, I just been feeling drained out, like spiritually. It's just my body feels so weak right now. But then I had this vision with my daddy, and I had a vision with other people too. Like, I had a dream with these real famous prophets. I had a dream, something dealing with them. Like I said, it's something wrong with everybody. But in this vision, also with my daddy, these prophets that everybody listen to, God is showing me about these well-known prophets too in this process. So I'm seeing her, I see my dad, but my dad just stuck with me, coming like, my dad don't just pop up like that. Like, he ain't just coming like that. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just like, if I see my dad, it's a warning. I just take it. If I see my dad, he only coming for a warning. Like, that's the only reason why he coming. It's a mosquito just on my window. And okay, because yeah. But my daddy, he's only gonna come as a warning. So I see my daddy in this vision. He's not talking. He just standing there, and I'm like, I'm really just like, will you say something? But spiritually, the dead don't talk. Like, they don't talk. So I'm trying to figure out why he even there. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So I see him there in this vision. Okay, boom, the week going by. So it's odd for me to see him. So I'm like already on high alert because I seen my daddy. So me seeing my dad, I'm very just like spiritually just like ding, 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 ding. Like the alarm is going off. So as I'm going through my day, my daughter, she was like, hey mom, I'm not feeling good. You know, so I was just like, oh, okay. You know, but I ain't really seen her nothing like that. I ain't even talked to her nothing. She just randomly texted me. It was just like she wasn't feeling good. So I was like, oh, okay. And so a couple days go by. And she's saying that she thinks she's getting worse. Okay. You know, so she telling me she thinks she's getting worse. And so I see my daddy, my daughter. I ain't really spoke to her or nothing. She's sending, you know, random little texts about this and that. And then, but in the text, she's just saying, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to rest up. And then she sent another text saying, well, I don't think I'm getting no better, you know, but I'm just going to try to see. Maybe I need some more rest. You know, that's what she kind of texted me. But I seen my daddy. So then I'm laying in the bed. And I really was just sitting back. I really was just sitting back, y'all, to see if she was just gonna be like, okay, I might need to go to the emergency room. Like, this is what I'm waiting on her to tell me, but she's not telling me this. So she going by, she's telling me this, she telling me that, but she's not mentioning, okay, I might need to go to the doctor, or I might need to go to the emergency room. Like, she's not really stressing this. So I'm in the bed. It's like 2, 3 in the morning, and then at this point, a voice said, if you don't tell her to get to the emergency room, she's not gonna go. So, but I'm like, I'm really just sitting back, because I really just don't jump in people's situations like that. Like, I really do give people time to, like, kind of just get a vibe for what's going on and see what they need to do. But 2, 3 in the morning, a voice is talking to me, and a voice is telling me to tell my daughter to get to the emergency room. Just tell her to get to the emergency room, because she talking about all this other stuff going on, all this other stuff she trying to do. But I'm thinking, like, okay, if you tell me you're not feeling good, when you gonna say you gotta go to the doctor? Or when is you gonna even say you gotta go to the hospital? Like, I hear you talking about all this other stuff. So I'm just sitting back really waiting to hear, okay, mama, I think I need to go to the doctor. That never came up. That was never part of the conversation. So then, boom, God come to me. God tell me, okay, text her until I get to the emergency room. So I'm texting, and I normally do not text my kids like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Like, I do not text them these paragraphs like this, because I be asleep myself. But this time I'm texting my daughter. I'm like, look, I said something about get to the emergency room. And so at this point, probably when she read the message, she probably was feeling even worse by the time she read this message. So she read this message, she probably felt worse and looking like, dog, my mom tell me to go to the emergency room, and actually I'm feeling worse now. I don't know, because I never spoke to her. I just sent this text message like, get to the hospital, get to the emergency room. And then at this point, she called me. My daughter called me. I know, y'all, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this story together, dang, because I'm already like feeling weak and tired. And I've been having so much sleep, but I had one of my daddy visit. It just seemed like it sucked all the life out of me. Like, I feel so drained out right now. Like, I feel like I ain't got no energy. Okay, so my daughter, after I sent the message for her to get to the hospital, like, just get to the hospital. Because I really don't know what's going on. I'm thinking that she going to initiate it. She won't initiate it. And God, like, unless you put in the earth for her to get to the doctor, she's not going to get to the doctor. So I put in the earth. So I sent tell me, like, get to the doctor. So when she woke up, she probably feeling way worse. My first mind, like, she was way worse. Like, when she saw that text message and the way she was feeling, it was lining up with each other. So she actually feeling worse. And I'm telling her to get to the emergency room, but I ain't had no contact with her. But she know her mama is prophetic. She know this. So I tell her, get to the emergency room. So, boom, she called. She told me that she's at the hospital. And she tell me what hospital she at. So when she tell me what hospital she at, I'm like, girl, don't you know that's the hospital Papa died at? Don't you know that was the last hospital Papa was at when he died? That's the hospital we had to go to. And so, I'm like, not only that, I said, I seen Papa this week. And you at the hospital where he died at. You was at this hospital right now. That's the hospital right there. So she telling me this. I'm telling her, I'm putting the pieces together like that. I dreamed about my dad, and she's actually at the hospital where my dad died at. And so when she get to this hospital, they tell her that she's gonna have to have surgery. They like, it's so bad she gotta have surgery. This is what they telling her. So they telling her that she gonna need this surgery. I'm telling her, look, it's the hospital that Papa died at. My daddy was at this hospital right here. How did you even end up at this hospital out of all hospitals? Like, how did you end up there? Because I can't make no sense out of this. Like, how did you end up at this one hospital? The hospital Papa died at. So she going, they trying to set everything up. And they trying to set her up for a surgery. They like, whatever this is, it's so bad that she's going to have surgery. So at this point, she was just like, so at this point, y'all, at this point, they're telling her she going to need this surgery. And I'm screaming, Papa died at this hospital. And I dreamed about Papa this week. How's you at this hospital where Papa was last at? How's you here? Like, yeah. Out of all hospitals, that's one you pick. Okay. So then at this point, she's like, Mama, I don't know what to do. There's just so much going on right now. I said, well, get out that hospital. Get out that hospital right now. I'm on my way. I'm finna take you to a different hospital. Get away from that hospital. Do not do nothing else. Do not do nothing else with these people. I'm on my way to get you right now. So I get her from the hospital, take her to a different hospital. I'm taking her to a different hospital, and then at this point, she said when she was at this hospital, a voice told her to go. Do not be here. So while I'm telling her I'm on my way, Papa died at this hospital, you know, I'm coming to get you, take you to another hospital. She also said she heard a voice telling her to leave from that hospital. Like, this is what the voice telling her. So I go get my daughter, I take her to another hospital. This other hospital, they gave her way more options. And she really didn't choose the option where they had to cut and do no kind of surgeries or nothing on her. So she was like, okay, she gonna pick the other options. But so she ain't gotta get cut, she ain't gotta do nothing, you know. She probably gonna have some, they probably gonna just, just do whatever they doing with her. But she didn't have to go through all the process, through all of what. Even though they did give her the same diagnosis at this first hospital. The first hospital was just like, we just gonna do surgery. Like, it's just so bad we doing surgery. But this other hospital she went to, she really was expressing, look, I don't want to get cut. I don't want this. I don't want that. And they really respected that. And they really figured out alternative ways to do whatever they were trying to do. Instead of just, okay, let's just find a quick way out and let's just do it through the surgery. Like, they really just, like, let her pick how she felt like she wanted to deal with this. And so that's what they end up doing with my daughter. So she didn't have to get cut. She just gonna be on a long recovery to healing or whatever, you know. But after all of this had went on, you know, I texted her, I'm like, look, are you glad you left from that hospital? And she's like, oh, Mama, I'm so glad I left. She's like, Mama, I'm so glad I left from that hospital. Because I ain't really just seen her. Like, I ain't seen my daughter. But I'm texting her, I'm trying to, like, see, like, is you feeling what I'm feeling? Like, some telling me get you from this hospital. You telling me a voice is telling you don't go forward and get away from this hospital. We go to a different hospital. I'm like, do you feel any better? Like, do you feel any better about the choice of leaving this hospital? And so she was like, oh, Mom, I'm so glad. They telling me this, they telling me that. They give me all these options. They did give her a lot of options. Like, they could just be like, look, you got to go through surgery like the other people. They could just made it quick and just like, okay, this is what we gonna do. But they really did respect what she had going on and what she wanted to do, what she didn't want to do. And they worked around it for her. So she feeling real good. She's doing better, y'all. I know. I'm like, dang, I feel so tired. Like, it's so much. It's been a long week. Not only with her, it been other stuff going on too. So when Satan attack, it be so extreme, y'all. Like, it really do be extreme out here. Like, Satan is not playing no games out here with nobody. The attacks is very serious. If you feeling some kind of way, you better off going to the doctor and letting them tell you that ain't nothing wrong with you. Then you just pushing it back and something really wrong with you. Because Satan not playing with nobody right now. So, I think with my daughter, if she would have waited, it would have been way worse. Like, I think it would have got real bad. I think it was bad when I texted and told her to get to a emergency room. I think it was, like, really bad then. But she said when she went to the first doctor, they said it was so bad that they was doing surgery. But when she went to the second doctor, they did get her other options. I can see my daughter being like me, like, nope, you is not finna cut. No, you finna do what? I can see my daughter probably just like stressing it to them, and they just like, well, okay, what you want to do? Okay, y'all. So yeah, so that's what happened with me this week. Cause I kept saying, Dad, why I see my daddy? Like, that's how I'm looking. Like, why I see my daddy? And then my daughter called me, cause when I told her to get to a emergency room, she never called back. And they do try to, like, not include me in everything going on. Like, they do try to be like, okay, I'm an adult. Because I do share to my kids, but I do back off. I'm like, okay, let me back off and let you figure out what you're going to do. And I do step in when I need to step in with them. And so when she was telling me, like, the second day she was telling me that she wasn't feeling good, I had a dream about my daddy. A voice said, if you don't tell her to get to her emergency room, she is not going to get to her emergency room. So I text him, but I'm still like backing off, like, okay, let them just kind of, just maneuver through life and just be like, okay, Mom, I'm just going to go to the doctor and everything. But she talking about everything but the doctor. And so when I was texting her and I told her to get to her emergency room, I told her, I was like, really, I was just sitting back waiting on you to tell me that you was going to go to the emergency room. I was trying to figure out why you doing all this other stuff and you talking about you not feeling good. I thought you were going to be suggesting the hospital to me. I said, but you didn't suggest it, so that's why I put in the earth for you going to go. I said, that's why I did that. So, yeah. So that's what been going on. Whew. It's been a long week. And then I'm still like, damn, I seen my daddy, God, and in the dream, I wanted everything. Like, I was doing everything for God to just let me remember this dream. And because I know it's important. Like, I know if I see my daddy, like, yeah, this like, woo. So I'm like really just trying to take everything in. And God purposely, like, hid everything. The only thing I remember about that vision is that I seen my daddy. And I kept saying, why did I see my daddy? And then I was thinking, like, well, maybe with my daughter going to the hospital that my daddy died at, maybe that's why I saw my daddy. So then I was just like, look, you got to get, I don't know what's going on. You can call it junkie. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm finna get you from that hospital. That's not the hospital you need to be at. Do not let them do nothing else on you. I'm on my way right now. So when I took it to the other doctor, I said, just tell them you trying to get a second opinion. That's all. Just tell them, like, you just want a second opinion. And I think it was just so much going on all at once. She just really, like, my daughter really couldn't think. She like, dang, like it was way worse than what she thought. So she going in thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be in, and now they like, nah, we gotta keep you. You actually gotta go through surgery right now. Yeah, but they did end up keeping her. But she didn't have to go through the surgery. Like I said, they found an alternate way to do what they need to do with her. And that's a good thing. And God showed her grace. God gave her grace in that situation where she didn't have to have surgery or go through a surgery for them to fix whatever was going on. Like, she just didn't have to do that. But God, grace is the reason why, y'all. God gave her grace in that situation. Because it really was just that bad. I know I don't really want to get into too much detail on it, so to speak. I'm trying to say what I can say, y'all. So, she doing good, and she just said she glad she left. She just like, Mom, I'm glad I went to the second. I'm glad you kind of got me to a different doctor. So I'm like, okay. Just call me if you need me for anything. Just, I try to, just maneuver around what's going on. But just let me know if you need something. But, yeah. So, y'all, that's what's going on with me. Yes. You think the attacks don't happen with me? They be happening. But I'm 10 steps ahead. I'm like 10 steps ahead. God, he watch out for his people. So God gonna give me the rundown on what's going on, especially with my kids. So, but they got to use their free will to be like, okay. But I think it was just something that, like, I probably need to get to the doctor. Because she already had went to the doctor. Like, she didn't even tell me she was going to the emergency room. But I had texted her, like, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was saying a lot. But in this paragraph of what I was saying to her, I also said, get to the hospital. Get to the emergency room. And so, by that time, I think when she woke up, it was so bad. She was just like, she probably thinking, how my mom know I need to get to the emergency room? Like, this is getting really bad. Yeah. So, y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Everything good. God is good. We just going to push through. You just got to put Satan in your place out here. That's all. You got to put Satan. I am here to do the works of my Father. And our Father, he just put Satan in his place. So if you do out here, you doing the works of your Father, then your Father wants you just to put Satan in his place out here and keep it moving. Okay, y'all. This is Saturday, honey. Yeah. Yep, this is Saturday. I'm the most spiritual on Saturday. And y'all enjoy y'all day.